The management of Hindalco talking about the results, saying that there has been a robust operational performance, but this time what was a bit of a drag on the results was a volatility in the metal prices plus the spiraling energy costs, which is why you saw the net profits down by 2% and net sales higher by 11% on a year-on-year basis. A subdued stock in trade managed to see a bit of traction towards the fag end for Hindalco. Let's take it straight to the management of Hindalco.
Not sustainable. Either the productions will give in or LME has to go up. In this case, it appears the production has given in. Alcoa, Rio Tinto, Hydro, Rusal, they have closed their high-cost smelters. So much so, about 1 million ton of production has been slashed. I would not be surprised if there are more stoppages on the offing. Next, please. Indian industry is no exception. But on top of all the macroeconomic factors that are true for the international companies, India has one added disadvantage. That is the incessant increase in coal price. You may not be aware that the coal cost accounts for 1/3 of cash cost of metal. In India particularly, where power is generated primarily by burning coal. And if I plot how the increase in power cost has happened in India and plot December quarter 11 versus 09, that means in 2 years, the power cost in India has gone up by 63%, which is a humongous increase, particularly when you compare against China, which is 25%. And you will see many newspapers write that Chinese power cost is going up. Then what would they say about 63%? They don't say anything because they are not aware of it. World average has gone up by 29%. Look at it any which way you want, Indian power cost by burning coal has gone up enormously, fundamentally, on the back of the cost of coal price increase. Next. Now, that's about the background, macroeconomic background, its impact on our business. Let's see what has been the performance highlights for Hindalco in the background of the one I mentioned to you. Starting with the highlights, Q3 FY11 has delivered higher EBITDA compared to the previous year's quarter, corresponding quarter of 2011. There has been excellent performance delivered by copper business, which to a large extent compensated for the squeezed aluminium margins. Next. Overall performance of Hindalco, which you will see in a minute, is significantly better than both market expectations as well as of our peer group. Next. You will also notice as you go along that the controllable factors that are under the control of the management have done exceedingly well. Production is under control, which has gone up by 8% in metal aluminium and 9% in metal copper. Next. Efficiency improvements across the board continue to improve, which certainly helps mitigate the acute cost pressure. So to sum up, there has been robust operational performance which has helped overcome the negative impact of external factors. Next please. To give you the numbers, which perhaps speak more eloquently than the words, net sales has gone up by 11% on the back of higher production. EBITDA has been maintained at the same level in spite of tremendous cost increase. PBT at 551 is lower than the corresponding quarter last year, on account of higher interest. Why higher interest? Because we are taking loans for the greenfield projects, and that will fetch certain interest. And EPS is mildly lower than the last year. If you look at the street expectations, the consensus number is 406, and therefore at 451 it is 11% better than the consensus number. If you please note that many of other Indian aluminium players, they have delivered significantly poorer than the consensus number that macroeconomic numbers tend to suggest. I think that's a reasonably good comparison to show Hindalco performance in the right light. Next, please. If I take the whole 9 months, it is still significantly ahead of the last year. Net sales goes up by 11%, EBITDA goes up by 9%, profit after tax goes up by 12%, and EPS goes up by 12%. So double-digit growth in both top line and bottom line. I don't know of many aluminium companies in the world which can boast this kind of results. Next, please. How was it achieved? First, the higher production. Alumina produced by the factories was 7% higher than the corresponding period.